Hello and welcome to another edition of Bogosity, the series where we try to get to the truth behind myths, frauds, and scams. Today's Bogosity deals with creationism, and specifically some of the myths, bogus claims, and even outright lies being told about the scientific theory of evolution. We don't have time to be anywhere near comprehensive, but one thing should become clear. When you're talking to a creationist, chances are everything he says is complete bogosity.
Bogosity.
Is evolution really just complete fiction? Did Darwin himself doubt it? Can you win $250,000 for proving evolution? Gee, no! These and other myths were espoused on a video uploaded to YouTube entitled Evolution versus Creation, hosted by Janet Folger. I hear she makes great coffee.
Well, if evolution is a scientific fact, then it might surprise you to hear that a scientist from Pensacola, Florida, Dr. Kent Hovind, has a standing offer of $250,000, and I quote, to anyone who can give any, and I emphasize any, empirical evidence for evolution.
Ah, yes, Dr. Kent Hovind. A scientist? Sorry, but his doctorate is a fraud. He bought it from a diploma mill. So, in order to speak with the exact same scientific authority as Hovind, I am proud to announce that I have just received my bogus doctorate for my work in applied bogosity. So from now on, if you like, you may refer to me as Bogus Dr. Killian. Now that I'm an equal authority on the subject as Bogus Dr. Hovind, let's talk about his $250,000 challenge. Obviously, he's ripping off James Randi's prize for paranormal evidence, which has been around since the 1960s. But is he as honest as Randi? Janet Folger wasn't being very honest. She failed to mention the criteria he uses for the evidence. When I use the word evolution, I am referring to the theory which believes these 5 major events took place without God. Time, space, and matter came into existence by themselves. Planets and stars formed from space dust. Matter created life by itself. Early life forms learned to reproduce themselves. Major changes occurred between these diverse life forms. The problem is, that's not what the theory of evolution says. The first 4 have nothing whatsoever to do with the theory, and the 5th is a complete mischaracterization and doesn't match the theory at all. Also, evolution doesn't say that it happened without God. It just says that it happened. Bogus Dr. Hovind is lying. He's using a straw man version of evolution that he knows no one can prove. Using his standard, you can't even prove the theory of gravity. There's something else Janet Folger didn't mention. Bogus Dr. Hovind is currently spending 10 years in federal prison on 58 counts of tax evasion and obstructing federal agents. Sounds to me like he failed to render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, as Jesus commanded.
I believe the Bible is the infallible, inspired, inerrant word of the living God.
Hey, Hovind, if you're going to claim the Bible is literal, you can't pick and choose which parts you want to follow. Not only that, but Bogus Dr. Hovind has repeatedly said that none of his videos or the videos produced by his ministry are copyrighted.
At our ministry, produce a lot of videotapes. We've made over 1 million videos now in 6 languages. They're not copyrighted. We encourage you to get our stuff and spread it around.
His ministry has, nonetheless, acted to take down videos debunking his absolute nonsense, claiming copyright infringement.
They're not copyrighted, not copyrighted, not copyrighted.
Not only is this another lie, it's also a felony to falsely claim copyright infringement. It's just another desperate ploy by the lying criminal Kent Hovind and his lying criminal associates. We're just not dealing with honest people here. Even other creationists such as Ken Ham have called his claims fraudulent. How bogus do you have to be when other creationists are calling you out on it? The video goes on to make a lot of other claims.
Evolution doesn't even qualify to be a theory, despite the fact that it's the term most commonly used for it. No, in reality, it's not a theory at all. It's a model.
Hello? That's what a theory is. A theory is a model. There's a theory of gravity, which is a model explaining how gravity works. There's a theory of our solar system, which describes how our planets and other bodies move around it. So, creationist coffee lady, how is it not a theory?
Scientific theories have to be observed, tested, and results repeated. But evolution has never been observed. No one was there when life first appeared on this planet.
You know, being a bogus doctor has its advantages, like having the experience to use equipment like this state-of-the-art bogometer to measure levels of bogosity. This video, for example, emits levels of bogosity equivalent to that produced by Congress in a period of 3 days. That's a lot of bogosity. Even that last clip had unusually high bogosity levels. Why? Because evolution doesn't have anything at all to do with how life first appeared. Evolution only deals with the development of life after it first formed. These people don't even know what the theory of evolution actually is, and yet they claim to tell you what it's all about. And evolution has been observed and continues to be observed, both in the wild and in the lab. And evolution is not only testable, its predictions have been extremely useful. Evolution has been used extensively in the development of life-saving medicines and is currently being used to treat AIDS. Evolution is also used to combat cholera in the Third World. By cleaning up the water supply, the cholera is forced to mutate and evolve from a waterborne pathogen to an airborne pathogen. And airborne pathogens require the human host to be healthy and walking around so that they can be spread to other hosts. The people still have the cholera, but it's no longer a problem. None of this would have been possible if evolution were not true. But despite all of that, some people still think it's relevant to try and use Darwin himself to discredit evolution.
You see, the problem is Darwin's ideas were merely that, ideas, not facts. And what most people don't know is that Darwin himself expressed doubts about his own ideas.
Firstly, why, if species have descended from other species by insensibly fine gradations, do we not everywhere see innumerable transitional forms? Why then is not every geological formation and every stratum full of such intermediate links? Geology assuredly does not reveal any such finely graduated organic chain, and this, perhaps, is the most obvious and gravest objection which can be urged against my theory.
Yep, they pegged the bogometer. This is a particularly despicable form of lying called quote mining, because they didn't tell you what Darwin had to say next. The explanation lies, as I believe, in the extreme imperfection of the geological record. Quote mining is complete dishonesty, yet creationists do it all the time. Not just with Darwin, but with other scientists, misrepresenting their views to make it seem like they doubt evolution when really they don't. Hey, isn't there something in the Bible about not bearing false witness? In fact, isn't that one of the Big 10?